Hello, I'm Tony, and in this review we are taking a look at Onsen Master, a game free from Prime Gaming until the 8th of March 2023. In this game, you take control of a series of onsen, which is a resort developed around a hot spring according to Google, or a hot spring bath according to me. You need to lead all of the customers to a clean bath, grind up the right type of ingredients and put them into the bath with the customer to let their ills soak away. The graphics are pretty nice in this game. They're definitely leaning towards cutesy and do the job pretty well. There's also some nice calming atmospheric music playing, which is completely at odds with the hectic gameplay. It very much reminded me of games like Overcooked, but replacing ingredients with customers and bath salts, and plates and cooking areas with the baths themselves. It's relatively simple, since the customers have the correct ingredients above their head, but it's made more difficult by the fact that some of them just jump directly in whichever bath they feel like, whether it's the right one for them or not, and it appears to be completely random. Characters can also make pools of water or something green that I don't want to think about from the yokai customers that slows you down as you walk around, so it often really needs to be cleaned up. Later levels introduce more confounding elements such as floods or mischievous yokai throwing ingredients at you, ruining your ability to grind the correct one up. On top of this, we have bosses too. These are much larger characters that require multiple cleanings and have abilities of their own. One might knock you down, another can take control of you for a limited time, all of which makes doing your job so much harder. There are 6 levels, each in a different onsen, with noticeably different layouts, but they fundamentally contain the same things. Each onsen has 3 sub-levels, the third of which is the boss one. To progress to the next sub-level, you need to achieve at least 1 star rating, and to get to the next onsen, you need to clean the boss fully. For me, with the bosses, that meant normally focusing just on them, because the time limit's pretty tight otherwise, even on easy mode. Now, this is all pretty standard gameplay for the genre, and to be honest, it works pretty well. There is a story that you can skip if you want to by playing in arcade mode, but if you do play in story mode, you get a narrative about friendship between our main character and a yokai, which might well be enjoyable for some, but it isn't my thing, so I pretty much skipped all of it. There's not a huge amount more to say about the actual gameplay. It's really straightforward. This game gets a different opinion from me if you pay for it or you get it for free. I've been able to complete about 2/3 of the game in under an hour. Now, this is on easy mode admittedly, because I just wanted to see as much of the game as I could, and these aren't really my type of games anyway. I did check out some other reviews and people are saying it's about a 2-hour game, and even the developers themselves describe it as short but sweet. This would be a bit of an issue if you had to pay for it, because I don't see a huge amount of replayability here. Most of the game mechanics that get added as you play through the levels are obstacles rather than proper mechanics, and some of the randomness I mentioned before felt more frustrating than challenging to me, and kind of takes away your ability to get good at the game. I also had a fair few instances of the game just ignoring what I asked it to do, whether it was grabbing a customer's hand or grabbing one of the ingredients. It just didn't do it, which doesn't really help much either. There are a couple of different game modes, which either allow you to set the timer, or an endless mode, or one where you have lives, but they're not really different from the story or arcade modes. Now, because this is currently free, and this is the free game review, the question of value and replayability is far less relevant, since you're not likely to feel cheated if you get only a couple of hours out of a game that you didn't pay for. If you like the overcooked genre of games, I think you should give this a try when it's free, because you'll probably get 2 or 3 hours of hectic gameplay fun out of it. But I'd really hesitate to recommend it if you have to pay for it. It's a very qualified, very mild recommendation for fans of the genre. Now, for anyone wondering why I've only played an hour, I actually had a ton of performance issues with this game. I have 4 hours of footage of really laggy gameplay. I ended up cleaning my laptop fans and stopping all of the unnecessary process and retrying, and I did get it to run most of the time okay, but I still got a lot of stuttering, which made the game unplayable at later levels, even though my spec is for once actually better than the recommended. Couldn't see why it was a problem, but bear that in mind if you got lower end system. It was a really frustrating experience, and I ended up only playing for an hour when I got it working because I didn't want to punch my laptop screen, and this game made me want to do it. Anyway, with that rant out of the way, I'm off to relax far away from an onsen. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.